So we have to find the minimum operations to make all elements divisible by 3. And so we are given an array nums. And so there's the input and there's the output. How is the output? In one operation. Oh, okay. So in a particular operation, we can add or subtract. Yes, yes. 1 for many elements of nums. And they return the minimum number of operations. Okay. And I think we're given an int here, which is if x modulo 3 is not equal to 0, we can always increment or decrement s such that we only need one operation. Okay, so let me do this. So let's find the minimum of operations to make all elements divisible by 3. But there's a general formula where you can find a number of operations to make all elements divisible by key. And I think that will apply to this particular question. And so because in that case, then our key is equal to 3. Equal to 3 in this case. All right. So this is the idea, right? So for any number, let's say num. All right. The remainder is to find the remainder is num modulo our key. We're using key as a general keys. And the main operations, all right, to make all elements divisible by that key, or to make that particular element, which is our num divisible by key, is to find the min of the remainder and k minus the remainder. All right. So, but why is this? Why is this the case? So you can either do two things. All right. You can either do two things. The first thing is you can either subtract, all right, the remainder to, let me just do REM. You can subtract the remainder to reach the nearest lower multiple of k, which in our case I think is which in our case is 3. So you can either subtract the remainder to reach the nearest lower multiple of k, or you can either add this one here, which is k minus, so let me just put it here. You can either add k minus the remainder to reach the nearest higher multiple k. All right. So we can pick an example here. So let's see an example. Let's pick our k equal to 3 in this case. And let's see we have, let me pick a number here. Okay, let's pick 4 in this case. So we pick 4. So let's the num be 4. All right. So our remainder. So we are going to use this case and copy everything here. So our remainder will be the num, which is 4, and our key will be 3. And 4 modulo 3 is 1. And so the minimum operation will be 1 minus the key, which is 3, minus the remainder, which is 1 here. And so this is going to be the min of 3, of 1, and 2. And the answer is 1. All right. So what does this mean? This means that, so one operation is enough to make 4 divisible by 3. All right. So let's look at this condition 2. So we can subtract REM to reach. So our remainder here was 1. All right. We can subtract it to reach the lower multiple of k. So we can do the subtraction. 4 minus 1, and that is 3. And this is the lower multiple of 3. All right, nearest in this analogy. Or we can add k minus REM, and this is k minus REM, which is 2. All right, so we can do that. 4 plus the whole of this, which is 3 minus 1. is 4 plus 2, which is 6. And this is a higher multiple of 3. Or key in our case. Right, let's use key of key, which is 3. Okay. All right. So one operation is enough to make 4 divisible by 3. So we can look at the Java code. And so let me copy all this. All right. So let's say we are supposed to return an integer. So let's say our int result is equal to 0, which is return 10. We just return our results. Yeah. And we move to our test. So we want to be able to test. Okay. Let me just do for this test. And I'll just run this. It should fail because there's nothing here. And just to do. So let's see if our test is working as it should. So Java, unit, everything was well. Java hyphen jar unit. Um, hotspot. Okay, so our test fails. That's what we want. And so let's go ahead and implement. It's okay. So my result is going to be my number of operations. And so as we said, I remember is for any number now. So we have to look here. So I'll just go back for int nums in nums. All right, we can just look at this. We can just our remainder is that. So and remainder is nums modulo key. Num modulo and our key here will be 3 because that is what the question says. Find minimum of to make all element divisible by 3. Okay, so our key becomes 3 here. Modulo key. Right. So my results, I'll make my results and the minimum number of my remainder and key minus my remainder. All right. I have my results returned. So I'll write my test case again. All right, and I'll test fast. So we can go ahead and copy all this. Put them here and submit. All right, so our test case, our test passed. We can do same for Python 3, sorry. All right, so with Python 3, I'll copy this. Pick out the self. And we just follow the same thing here. So in Python, to find min, we just use min, and we'll find our remainder. All right, so you just a matter of me returning the sum for none in nums. What I want is the minimum of k is equal to 3. So my remainder is always num modulo k. I can copy that. Remainder of this and k minus my remainder. And just return that. So this should work. You can test that as well. We are testing minimum operations. So and we can run our Python. So let's do the script activate and Python test me. All right, so our test run successfully. And so we can go back here and copy all this. Indentation in Python is tricky. So I'll just submit this code. Right. So I think it's passed and we are done.